boring. Where you can feast with the nectar of the gods. You'll always have a seat at Norse Hall.
Welcome everybody to Top Dog Coverage, where you can find some of the best football analytics, some of the best football commentating, football knowledge, football.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But football definitely happened in week 3. Am I right?
Yeah, this is definitely week 3 for the ages here. It was we'll get into it, but it's kind of a wacky, weird week 3.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. And before we get into it, if you guys have not already followed us, go to Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Stay connected with us. And also make sure that you go to Spotify, swipe up, hit the 5 stars, leave a comment. iTunes, do the same thing. Swipe up, 5 stars, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Your favorite teams. We've done all 32. Okay, we've handled everything before everything was starting to happen this season, and let me tell you, we're getting some flack coming back, and other people are hearing it from us because, hey, we said the Kansas City Chiefs would be 0-2, and they win their first game against the Giants. I mean, you know, what are we going to do, right?
It's real life.
Yeah, you can't get them all right. But C-Dub, what's going on, baby? How you doing?
Hey,
How you feeling?
You know, it's good. It's recovering. You know, we spent Tampa. We spent some time in Tampa together these last few days, and I think I collected about 7 hours of sleep total the entire time I was there.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by Celsius. They don't know that they're
Not actually, but
but they have no idea that they're sponsoring the show because they're keeping both. I don't know if you have one, but I have one.
I don't get nothing. Going off vibes and
Went through
sheer willpower here.
Yeah, full 2 cases of them this weekend.
Yeah, I think that was all you, Bub. I only had maybe 2, 3.
I'll take it.
I had 3 of them, I think,
I'll take it. That's good.
throughout the 3 days. So
yeah, so we went down to Tampa, nice little getaway, and we watched some of those games, and some of those games were absolutely amazing, stunning, and I mean, you can't get any better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there were just, I mean, the things that everybody expected to happen. This is why we say it's wonky, and when people are always saying there's no way in hell that this team can beat this team or this team can beat that team, you don't know. We know just
Sunday.
we know just as much as you know. And when we're throwing in those quirky, weird picks, it's because we don't know. We feel something's going to happen, but, you know.
And I felt like injuries was a big story in these first 3 weeks of the season. You know, especially on this past week 3. There's a couple big names that unfortunately went down and are out for the year.
Yeah. I mean, you know, with that, let's just jump into some news because we got some injuries, we got some new starters, we got some trades, we got a little bit of everything today. So let's. Time for the news, baby. All right. Well, I'm gonna start off with my Jets. All right.
Of course.
I know. This is what we do. But the Jets are placing Quincy Williams on the IR. Okay, linebacker.
Injured reserve for those that don't know.
Yes, adding Mark Robinson from the Patriots practice squad. The second level of the Jets defense will be shorthanded, according to Rich Cimini, for a notable period. The linebacker Quincy Williams is headed to the injured reserve, and the team has confirmed the news. Today, news ensures Williams will miss at least the next 4 games. The 29-year-old is dealing with a shoulder injury and will be sidelined for a stretch, according to Tom Pelissero. Williams is not in danger of missing the remainder of the season, but this shift to IR is a sign of a lengthy absence in store. So,
tough loss there.
It is. It's he was a Pro Bowl in 2023, and he had incentives of $1.5 million. So
he's kind of been the leader of that defense too, right?
Yeah, they're trying to bring it over to Jermaine. I don't know. I can never remember.
Jermaine Johnson?
No, not Jermaine Johnson. I always mess up his name. They just paid him.
You're talking about Sauce Gardner?
No, they paid it. They paid the linebacker first.
Oh, Jamin Sherwood.
Jamin Sherwood, yes. I always mix up. I always know it has a J. He's the weird one that I can never remember.
The former safety. Name. I think about Auburn, right?
Yeah. So it's but they just paid him, and he has been actually calling some of the plays on defense. So the two of them together are just monster houses. So, but unfortunately, I'll just roll with that one, and I'll carry it right over to the Titans trading cornerback Jarvis Brownlee to the Jets. So Jarvis Brownlee has served as a starter for much of his time in Tennessee, but his tenure there is coming to an end. The second-year corner is being traded from the Titans to the Jets, according to Jordan Schultz. And this deal is now official. Per Schultz, this deal will see late-round picks swapped in 2026. Diana Rossini of The Athletics adds that Brownlee and a 7th rounder in next year's draft are being exchanged for a 6th round pick. The Titans will take on a modest dead cap figure of $789,000 as part of the agreement, and the Patriots also showed interest before the swap was worked out. So Brownlee joined the Titans as a 5th round pick in 2024, and with the team dealing with injuries in the secondary, he took on a large role, playing in all 17 games. He made 14 starts and logged over 900 defensive snaps. Brownlee started each of the Tennessee first 2 games this season before missing week 3.
Yeah, I mean, you get a kind of a cheap starter still on his rookie deal. It's a pretty good move for you guys.
Not bad.
That's more talent to the secondary.
You maybe concentrate a little bit more on some other spots in the draft,
Mm-hmm. Anything else happening with the Jets?
I don't think so.
Well, I will go to, I guess, your NFC counterpart, the New York Football Giants. So the big news out of Big Blue, the Giants are expected to start quarterback Jackson Dart in week 4. So following another subpar performance from Russell Wilson in week 3, questions were again raised about the possibility of a quarterback change being made by the Giants. Head coach Brian Daboll left the door open to Jackson Dart taking over during his Monday remarks. It appears that will indeed be the case. Dart is expected to receive the nod for week 4, as first reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter. So this will be the first round rookie's first start in the regular season and presumably bring about an end to the Russell Wilson era atop the depth chart in New York. So after starting for 3 weeks, Wilson will handle backup duties. Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport of NFL Network add. So, I mean, pretty big move. You and I were both pretty vocal about we wanted none of the quarterbacks to start this year outside of Cam Ward. Wanted to sit, kind of learn. But, I mean, Giants are sitting 0-3, looking down the barrel of another lost season. And now they're throwing Jackson Dart out against the Chargers defense. How do you feel about that?
I'll be honest, as much as we've discussed not wanting them to go in and not wanting them to start and to sit, and I understand that, But if you're going to do it, why are you going to do it against one of the best defenses in the league right now? I mean, if he carves it up, cool. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's a whole thing of, Dable's going to let him sling it, or maybe just keep it safe. I don't know. But, I mean, we've seen how this can, I don't want to say kill careers, but not really get everybody on the same, liking him very well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he showed a lot of promise during the preseason, right? And Dart, he played in the SEC. He's had swagger. He's bringing hope and life back to let's just face it, a lifeless New York Giants team.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson had that big performance against the Cowboys defense on week 2, but after looking, everybody's having a big performance against the Cowboys defense. I mean, there's non-existent defense there, so. I like the move. I would like Jart to kind of sit and continue to learn everything like that. But at this point, what is he really learning? You might as well throw him in the fire and give your offense that spark. And can he consistently get Malik Neighbors the ball? Can he get Cam Scatterbo the ball? Like, you have some playmakers on this offense. Can he go out there and orchestrate and just kind of be the field general, disperse the ball, and give him a fighting chance? So.
But I don't know. I'll say he is learning stuff sitting on the bench. I'll respectfully disagree. I just think that pushing him in week 4 because they're 0-3. If this doesn't work out, this is how you mess up a kid's career. We've seen this happen.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's the NFL. So I think if they don't make the switch, I think Daboll and Schoen, they're out. I don't think that just because they took Dart in the first round, they get to keep their jobs. If they continue the Russell Wilson experiment and continue to look inept on offense, I think they're out. I think this is their last Hail Mary to, unfortunately save their own jobs. But I think Dart has the mental makeup to overcome.
I think.
Yeah, whether he plays well or not.
I think let football people make football decisions. I speaking from experience with an owner that just can't keep his opinions to himself, like he knows football, and keeps on getting the wrong people over and over and over and over again. And ruining so many quarterbacks from the New York Jets. Let football people make football decisions.
I feel like this was a football decision. I think this is from Daboll. He's been super in love with Dart since the draft process. He gets really excited with putting him in those Dart packages that he's been running. So I think this is a move from him. I think he's over the Russell Wilson experiment. Dude, I mean, you're going to throw the ball away 3 times and you're in the goal line situation. You're not even giving your receivers a chance.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, what are we doing? That's not helping anybody.
I just want to make sure that it's not coming because he needs to save his job. Like, somebody's breathing down his neck right now of like, yo, are you going to put this kid in, or is it an actual football decision? You know what I mean? I hope it's a football decision.
It's probably both. I mean, let's be fair. He's human. He doesn't want to lose his job. So I think it's a little bit of both, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I believe that Dart can overcome, and I think he can do well despite the gauntlet of a schedule that they have. It's going to be tough, but hey, if he can get out the other side and actually look decent, make some throws, they might have their guy for a long time. So, but I'm going to stay in New York, and we have more news coming out outside of just the quarterback. So, unfortunately, the running back Tyrone Tracy is going to miss time. So the Giants will be shorthanded in the backfield for a short stretch. Tyrone Tracy suffered a dislocated shoulder during the team's Week 3 loss, and he's set to miss some time. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that he is expected to miss between 2 and 4 weeks while recovering from the shoulder injury. So he was a 5th-round pick in last year's rookie class. He performed pretty well. You and I picked him up on the fantasy waiver last year. He kind of helped us out in the pinch next year. But I think this kind of blows open the door for the Cam Scatterbo train, right? We saw what he can do. He was the entire Giants offense in Week 3 against the Chiefs. I believe he had 10 carries and 6 catches, over 100 scrimmage yards. I think it was 120 scrimmage yards and a touchdown. So
Right.
it's unfortunate Tyrone Tracy's going to miss some time, but I think the backfield's in good hands while he's out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a I mean, you got somebody that, I mean, if you saw the way he was running the ball the other night, I mean, just, basically get the hell out of my way type of run.
He looks like the Juggernaut from X-Men.
Yeah,
Just running through everything, dude.
He really does.
But I'm going to stay in New York. I have one last piece of information that we can go on the next team.
Go to it.
I guess New York just was news central today. So,
yeah.
But the Giants are signing former Atlanta kicker Younghoe Koo to the practice squad as insurance for injured kicker Graham Gano, per NFL Network's Mike Garafolo. So Gano tweaks his groin during warm-ups before Sunday's game against the Chiefs, which clearly affected the Giants' decision-making. Punter Jamie Gillian was inserted for kickoffs and PATs. And Brian Daboll elected to go for it on 4th and 3 rather than kick a 45-yard field goal on New York's first drive. So it kind of messed with some of the thing. But I feel like this has been a recurring issue for New York. I feel like Gano's kind of injured himself in warm-ups the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's been early in the season too. I think it was week 2 where he got injured and they couldn't kick any field goals or anything. But
yeah, and he ever since he's got paid, dude, he hasn't been able to do it. You know what I mean? Get the job done. To be honest, and
I mean, he's been a solid kicker. I just, for some reason, there's always some sort of warm up injury. So I don't know if we need to look at the warm up plan or what are we doing, but there needs to be some sort of change there if you keep getting hurt during warm ups.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Is that all the news for Giants?
The Giants are done.
Okay. I'm going to actually go down to where we were over in Tampa Bay. And Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans expected to miss multiple weeks. Okay, Mike Evans missed time last year due to a hamstring injury. The Bucs' number 1 receiver is once again in store for a stint on the sidelines for that reason. Evans suffered a hamstring injury on Sunday, and testing took place today to determine the extent of the damage. The worst-case scenario has been avoided, but a spell-out of the lineup is still on tap. So according to Pelissero, Rappaport, and Garofalo, Evans is expected to miss multiple weeks. Notably, this latest ailment is affecting the opposite hamstring, which was injured last season. The 2024 injury led to an absence of 3 games and nearly cost Evans a streak of 1,000 yards. Per the NFLN report, the 6-time Pro Bowler's current hamstring injury is less severe than the one he suffered last season. As such, there is an optimism long-term absence will again be avoided.
It's good news.
Yeah. So, I mean, we saw that happen too. He, went right for his leg, and he was just.
I believe it's on a slant route. I think late in the third quarter.
Yeah, he couldn't even finish it.
Yeah. Tough look, but I mean, you got the Ibuka hype train just screaming down there now.
Yeah.
So, I think they'll be in good hands while he recovers quickly. But I'm going to kick it over to Houston. So the Texans are set to release safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So his time in Houston has proven to be short-lived. The veteran safety is being released, as first reported by NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. 2025 has seen Gardner-Johnson serve as a starter for Houston, his 4th career team. The former Saint Lion and Eagle on 2 separate occasions enjoyed a highly productive second Philadelphia stint last year. But to his surprise, the 27-year-old was traded in the offseason in a swap, which saw former first-round guard Kenyon Green head the other way. So the move appeared to give Houston another veteran presence in the secondary and add further to a defense which faced high expectations entering 2025. But that unit has fared well with an average of just 17 points allowed per game. But the Texans are moving on nonetheless. Jalen Mills, who was recently brought back into the fold, is a depth option at safety, while Jimmy Ward was removed from the commissioner's exempt list yesterday. In the wake of those developments, Gardner-Johnson being let go.
Dang.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, apparently it's friction with teammates was the main issue in this case of why he's getting the can. So.
You definitely don't want to hear that.
Yeah, it's kind of been a common theme with I mean, he was having issues with the Saints, then he got traded, and it was just downhill since then. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to the West Coast over in San Francisco as the 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa suffers an ACL tear. Further testing on Nick Bosa's knee has produced an unwanted outcome, which the 49ers will be without their top pass rusher for the rest of the season. Bosa was believed to be in the clear regarding an ACL tear after initial tests, although head coach Kyle Shanahan left the door open to other serious injuries. An MRI has revealed that the initial optimism has been misplaced. Bosa did, in fact, tear his ACL on Sunday, according to Adam Schefter. Schefter adds, this was a clean tear, something which represents only a small consolation. Bosa's latest injury occurred in his left knee. That is the same one which experienced an ACL tear in 2020. As was the case that time around, the 49ers will need to play out a lengthy spell with a shorthanded defense. So Bosa recovered in full form from his ACL tear at the NFL level and only missed 4 total games across the following 4 seasons after going down in week 3 of the current campaign. However, the All Pro is in line for another lengthy rehab stint. No other ligaments were damaged. Diana Rossini reports that this will that it will help lessen Bosa's recovery time, but he will still be forced to miss the remainder of the campaign.
It's very tough. Great defensive player. I mean, he just unfortunate injury there.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with that same game, but actually go across the field to the Arizona Cardinals. So the Cardinals running back James Conner is going to be out for the season. So in a close loss to the 49ers today or on Sunday, the Cardinals saw a core player suffer a season-ending injury. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Arizona running back James Conner will require season-ending surgery on his right ankle. So it's a very unfortunate situation for a player he's persevered through quite a bit in his NFL career. So it's just another bump in the road, and you hope that their surgery goes well and he can get back on the field very quickly. But shouts out to James Conner.
I'm gonna stay on that side too. Go a little bit more north, and Chargers Najee Harris suffers a torn Achilles. So when speaking to the media on Monday, Harbaugh confirmed that Harris has indeed suffered an Achilles tear. His debut season with the Bolts has thus ended after 43 snaps. Today's news will also obviously deal a blow to Harris' market value next spring. And NFL Network team Rappaport had the most conservative report, stating that Harris was undergoing imaging that there wasn't a lot of optimism. And I think, even when we were hanging out, it was pretty much, you were like, dude, you saw it. You just kind of saw it pop, and it just, that it is what it is.
Yeah. It's tough look.
Yeah.
He's only on a 1-year deal too, so kind of puts his future at in question there. So hope he has a speedy recovery.
Is that it? Did we get through it?
I think so. I think we survived the news gauntlet.
Oh, well, at least we didn't get hurt going through it.
I don't know.
Maybe our egos got hurt a little bit. I had Najee on my fantasy.
Oh, see, I don't know how it happened, but I ended up getting Hampton in the majority of my league. So,
and it's weird now. I was trying to get another running back, right?
Yeah.
And I only have one. I only have Barkley on that team, and
it's a good one to have.
Yeah, I mean, and I tried to trade for Krosky Merritt, good old Bill, and I was willing to give up Pearsall for it, so I'll give up, just to have a 1-2 there. And he said that no, he's skyrocketed. So he said no. I said okay, not a big deal. I'm not offering anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not in the mood to offer anymore. So he comes back. and realizes now that 1-2. Najee Harris is done, so he's trying to take advantage now. And I'm going to
As
tell
any
you
good
this.
fantasy manager should.
Yeah, they should. They should do their due diligence. Okay, I'm going to tell you right. I don't care what the numbers say with this. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to read this trade out to you guys. I wouldn't do this, and I will tell you exactly why I wouldn't do this. All right, so trade is Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyle Pitts, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and Kyle Murray. Kyler Murray.
Okay.
For Rashee Rice, Bo Nix, and Trey McBride.
So Bo's kind of having a tough season. Rashee Rice hasn't played yet. And who was the third?
Trey McBride.
Oh, yeah, you can't give up Boy. That's your man crush, dude. You guys are getting married next year.
Yeah. Apparently, he doesn't know that. But his original stunt was Kyle Pitts and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
His original offer?
Bills, yeah, for
Okay.
McBride.
He must be hurting for tight end.
Or he just sees that McBride is going against Seattle, who's the first to give up all the tight end points for the league right now. So that could be it too. But I'm going to stand by it because I'm going to stick with Bo. Rashee Rice is not leaving my side right now. We're going into week 4. We got 2 more weeks left, and then it's gold time. Okay.
Yeah, week 7, he can make his long-awaited debut.
Yeah. So I don't want to go to Marvin Harris. I'll be honest with you before we jump into all these games real quick. I haven't really seen Marvin Harrison Jr. really shine yet with Kyler. Hasn't been real sexy yet. You know what I mean? I know it's just week 3.
Yeah.
Going into week 4. There's a possibility, but I'd rather keep the one guy I know that is getting receptions.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but I think those will turn into catches, and I think they'll get that fixed fairly quickly. I mean, you've got some talent on the Arizona offense there, but I think McBride and him, I think that's a great 1-2 in terms of receiving game. So I think he's got the talent, he's got the pedigree. I think he'll get it fixed. He'll get it corrected. So
yeah. So
I'd be more of a buy low on that.
On what? Oh, on the
Marvin Harris.
Yeah. And I would rather, if any pass catcher though, I'd rather have McBride. That, just my whole thing. And I don't want to give up on Bo Nix. He does have
he's played okay. I mean, PFF has him graded as like the worst quarterback right now, but if for a fantasy standpoint, he's played okay enough.
Yeah. Look, he'll make plays. Okay. I picked these guys because of strength of schedule as well. So it's it'll get easier. We're only going into week 4. And
real quick before we move on to the to the games,
you got it.
Hot take.
Shoot.
Do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. would get better if he legally changed his name?
Yes.
Maybe like to Trey or John.
They could be in his best interest.
Maybe even a Brian. Because then, do you think it's just the weight of his name that's?
It could be. Yeah, maybe if he just like look at a kid from Boy Meets World, Ryder Strong. Everybody loves that guy. He played Sean Hunter. That's a cool name. Everybody likes Sean Hunter, and everybody likes the name Ryder Strong. Like, just keep it simple.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
Throwing it out there. Just curious.
All right, let's jump into it. Predictions, baby. Let's go over some predictions. Scratch that. Reverse it. Let's go over week 3.
Okay, I was like...
Yeah. It's been a long weekend. You were there.
Yeah. That's why I was confused.
All right. Let's start with the Dolphins-Bills.
Yeah, I mean, everyone. I think this was put the nail in the casket. McDaniel's out of there. Dolphins have
Yep.
no shot, and I think it's quite the opposite from what I saw. I think the Dolphins fought hard. They played well. It was just untimely, interception at the end that kind of made it to where they could go up by 2 scores. But Dolphins showed a lot of grit, played some good defense, and I don't know. Josh Allen and company is kind of tough to contain, but
Yeah.
they were in the fight through the very end.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna look at it, right? I mean, if you looked at it from just the numbers, Tua going 22 for 34, 146, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. I understand it, keeping the ground game to 130 rushing yards and 1 touchdown on the Miami side, and it's based off of running. But these divisional games they know each other, they understand each other, so they got to come up with other plays. They have to come up, and they do, and that's why the score was what the score was, 31-21.
It was the theme of the week too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of division games and a lot of we know each other and who's gonna come up with new stuff and
yeah,
get the dub.
yeah. So I mean, he showed. I'll say this: like Tua showed a lot more promise of what was happening, but still not impressed with this team. Like they definitely have taken a step up, but you're also taking a step up against Bills defense that really just. I'm sorry, but they're not. I just don't see them that good. I don't think they're that good. So maybe it was a little bit easier for them. They are 0-3. Are we looking at Mike McDaniels to start losing his job here? That's been my take from the beginning.
You had him fired in like January, so
Yeah, kind of did. I kind of did, yeah.
yeah.
But you go over to the other side. Josh Allen,
Josh
20,
Allen things.
yeah, 22 for 28, 213, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. James Cook, 19 carries, 108 yards and a touchdown. Josh Allen with 4 carries and 25 yards, on the ground, and Ty Johnson, Elijah Moore with some rushing, and he spread the ball out a ton. You're talking,
That's what the elites do.
yeah,
Except for Stafford, he likes to concentrate on like 2 guys.
yeah.
One
But
or
you
two
got
guys.
9 different receivers that got the ball in this game,
That's Drew
including
Brees-esque.
yeah, very much so, and including Dalton Kincaid getting
My
his
guy.
touchdown, 5 for 66. And look, nobody, and that's the highest you're going to get is 66 yards, 5 receptions, and there's nothing wrong with that because you're spreading the ball around, so that's big. And look, he just made it easy to go against this Miami defense. Like he just made it very easy to go up there. It's really tough to win in Buffalo, and Miami's got another shot on Monday night against the Jets, 2 0-3 teams, and let's see what happens. But the Bills are rocking and rolling, 3-0, and see where they go.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like I said, they were trading punches throughout the game. So Dolphins defense. Now, did they? Obviously they left the points on the scoreboard, but they gave them a lot of 3-and-outs in the second half there. So it was it's good to see. I mean, for Josh Allen fantasy owners, it's probably frustrating that he couldn't stay on the field there, but
Yeah,
he still got it done.
he did, as he usually would.
Yeah.
All right, you want to move on to Cleveland?
Yep.
All right. You want to start off on this one?
Sure. I mean, you had the Browns beat the Super Bowl champion Packers. Oh wait, no, that was they were talking about going to the Super Bowl. My bad. The Browns beat the Packers 13-10. And it was just a kind of a brutal game for the Packers. That Browns defense was stifling. Myles Garrett was terrorizing Jordan Love. I mean, he got sacked a bunch of different times. Browns defense, even I think, did they block the kick?
I believe they did.
They
Yes.
blocked the kick and then drove down and kicked the winning field goal themselves. So, very interesting game. Very, very interesting game. Jordan Love went 18 of 25, 183 yards and a touchdown. Judkins, it was good to see him break out, 18 carries, 94 yards and a touchdown. And on the Packers side, you had Matthew Golden lead the team with 4 catches and 52 yards. So it just seems like they couldn't get in a rhythm in terms of their offense.
Yep.
And I mean, the Packers defense did their job. They only gave up 13 points total, but it just seems like the offense had a really tough time Sunday.
Yeah, very low scoring. I mean, when your defense is giving 10 QB hits and 2 sacks and 5 tackle for losses, you're putting pressure on the quarterback. It's going to be very, very hard to maneuver around and make stuff happen. But you look over at the Cleveland defense, and they got 5 sacks out of this game. They have 6 tackles for a loss in this game and 7 QB hits. So that defense was ready to rock and roll, and they came to hit and hit hard, and they came not only that to shut the run game down, dude. Nobody over 30 yards and kept everybody under 85 yards rushing. So that
Browns defense is legit, man.
Yeah,
it's legit. It's the same squad that held Burrow to 17 points in week 1. But also, I mean, they had a tough time against Baltimore in week 2, but
yeah.
I mean, I think this Browns defense is legit.
And it's interesting, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say hit the panic button with Jordan Love or anything like that, but look, they got to reset. The head coach was obviously upset as well about, hey, we got to stop thinking about, the Super Bowl seasons. And start worrying about being 1-0 every week. And I think that's the right mentality, and I think he'll turn it around over there.
Yeah, the offense definitely has a get right game going against Dallas on Sunday night, so I think they'll be okay.
But in case anybody wanted, some touchdowns, the only touchdown was from the tight end John Fitzpatrick, which nobody thought of.
That helped everybody. Actually.
Yeah,
I know there's some Fitzpatrick fantasy managers out there somewhere.
Yeah.
The super deep cut leagues probably, but not any of our leagues. So
no, not at all. So you can. But you know what? I'll say this: good for the Browns, man. They needed that win. They really did to step up into the division a little bit. The Ravens are really struggling. The Steelers are kind of there. The Bengals lost Joe Burrow for the season. Like that kind of puts them in a little bit of more.
Do you know who's leading the division right now?
Yeah.
Do you know who is?
Do I know who is in the?
Yeah. Do you know who's leading their division right now?
I believe we had this talk. Was it Steelers?
It's actually the Bengals.
Oh, it's the Bengals.
So it's Bengals, Steelers, I think Browns, and then Ravens.
That can open up the AFC for anybody to just kind of take a wild card. That's a possibility.
AFC North. That's
Yeah.
interesting. So, yeah, we don't got to spend too much more time on that though.
Yep.
We can move on. Colts Titans.
Yeah, let's go to Colts Titans, man.
Go ahead. Tell us about the MVP favorite.
Let's stop joking about it. Daniel Jones, baby. Okay.
I was referring to Jonathan Taylor, but yeah, you can talk about him.
Let's throw him in there. Why not? Okay, Indiana Jones, as you like to say, and that's blasphemy, sir. We've had this discussion yesterday. There was only
Don't blame me. I didn't come up with the nickname. Don't blame me.
Okay. Blasphemy for anybody calling him Indiana Jones. There is only one, and that would be Harrison Ford. Okay.
That's Han Solo, my friend.
Well,
not so fast, my friend.
That's Han Solo. He's been many of characters. So we will.
Did he ever put up 41 points against the Titans defense? I think not. So Indiana Jones, he went 18 of 25 for 228 yards and a touchdown. Looking like mini Josh Allen out there.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Jonathan Taylor. I know the focus is going to be on Jones and the offense and everything, but Jonathan Taylor is playing out of his mind right now. And he had 17 carries, 102 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So this running back, Jonathan Taylor, is leading all running backs in scrimmage yards, rushing yards, touchdowns, yards after contact. I mean, he is playing at a completely different level this year. I think it's because he's been fully healthy too.
Yeah, you got an offensive line. You're healthy. You have other weapons that take the pressure off of you, even if you're not running the you're not running the ball. You are running the ball. You still got Josh Downs, Michael Pittman. You got all these guys here.
Tyler
Everybody
Warren.
healthy. Yeah, Tyler Warren. You got all these guys here. And I'm sorry, like
It should be.
they're just doing what a actual football team should be doing right now. And everybody's surprised about it. I'm not saying I'm shocked. I mean, I'm not saying that I expected this, but I'm certainly not shocked that he can do something with this team. Daniel
Yeah,
Jones, Jonathan Taylor, and you know what I mean. Like they're looking cohesive.
it's something that we talked about. Is like this is the first time he's had like an actual offense with playmakers, someone he can get the ball to.
Yeah,
His thing's always been he's taken dumb sacks and he's been in New York and kind of get roasted by the media and it's just he could never really put together. But the Giants have never really had a great offensive line except for during the Super Bowl years, right? When they had the great defensive line and offensive line
yeah,
with Eli and everything. But like right now, he actually has protection. He's got weapons he can distribute the ball to. He's got a run game. He's got a great rookie tight end that can be an outlet for him. He's got a big receiver, Michael Pittman Jr. He's got a slot merchant in Josh Downs. So he's got
yeah.
some dudes. He's got a team around him, and you can see when he's get some time and somebody that believes in him, and he's in a good situation. What he can do.
And let's start this off real quick with the receiving on this because Jonathan Taylor, you've been raving about him since the beginning of the season. If he's healthy, he's going to do good, and that's exactly what's happening right now. But if you look at it, Jonathan Taylor even got 3 receptions for 16 yards, and he had Josh Downs 2 receptions for 34 yards, Tyler Warren 3 receptions for 38 yards, Alec Pierce 4 for 67, and then Michael Pittman 6 for 73 and a touchdown. Okay, this is spreading the ball out. This is getting first downs. This is moving the change. This is keeping the clock rolling in your favor. And that's exactly what they did against the Titans. And nothing against Cam Ward because he went 23 for 38, 219, a touchdown, and an interception. But the Colts are just doing what they do. The Tennessee Titans are still trying to figure out what this is with their new quarterback.
Well, I think it's a coaching thing with them. Again, we saw what happened with Daniel Jones in New York. It's the same thing with Cam Ward. He doesn't have much talent around him. I mean, when you're averaging altogether 3.7 yards per carry in the run game, it's tough day, right? But you've got receivers that are dropping passes. You've got a head coach that his play calling is kind of hasn't looked great. He actually gave up his play calling duties to his quarterback coach earlier today. So it's kind of a recipe for disaster. Like Cam Ward's doing this off ad lib and kind of his talent. What can he make? He's trying to make magic here, but he doesn't have the full talented roster around him yet. I think he can be a dude for sure, but it's going to be some time until they get a full team around him.
Yeah, and look, this defense just seems to, or I don't say this defense, but they were held under to 86 rushing yards, and, when you can't run the ball, you can't do much. Tony Pollard got a touchdown, and then, Cam Ward is gravitating so much to Alec Ayo Manor, and
it's a great connection there.
Yeah, he's looking great too. He's looking good. He's looking solid. And you know what? He's just got to get it together. They got to see what this new play calling is going to be and how it's going to roll. So, I mean, look, Indianapolis Colts 3-0, and they're ready to go. Tennessee Titans 0-3.
Oh.
Want to move on to the Bengals Vikings?
Yeah, what a game.
What a game is correct. Take us through it.
Yeah, I mean, you've had the Vikings winning 48-10. Vikings defense with Hall of Famer Isaiah Rodgers, cornerback, scored 2 touchdowns. This defense, I mean, that was the story of the game. I mean, they created 5 turnovers, 6 turnovers, scored 2 touchdowns, ton of sacks. I mean, it was incredible. Masterclass from their DC. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. Former Miami coach.
Brian Flores.
I mean, this dude was in his bag, making life absolute hell for the Bengals.
Yeah, he was.
But you had Carson Wentz come in for J.J. McCarthy, finished 14 to 20, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looked okay. Right, he didn't have to do much. I mean, the Vikings defense carried him. But I think the story of the game is Jordan Mason. You know, with Aaron Jones being on injured reserve, he came in 16 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Was really gave them a run game, something that Wentz could lean on. Didn't have to rely on his arm. And Jordan Mason's showing that it wasn't just a San Francisco scheme that made him good last year when McCaffrey was hurt. You know, showing that he is talent. He is talented. So great move, great trade for the Vikings there. But really tough day for Bengals as a whole. I mean, offense looked out of sync. They couldn't execute. They couldn't get anything going. Anytime they we flipped to the game and we're looking at it, the Vikings got the ball back. It was crazy.
Yeah, you and I both in fantasy lost to the Vikings defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were getting pummeled. With that, I will say this. When your defense has 2 touchdowns, 9 QB hits, 7 tackles for a loss, and 4 sacks, you're having a good day.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the Vikings did.
For sure.
They made it very uncomfortable for him. And for Brian Flores, I bet it was just fresh meat, dude. You know, he came in like, yo, we're going to throw it at this kid, you know?
Yeah, I think it's one of those, if you're the Bengals, just burn the tape, throw it away, say a prayer, move on to the next one. Don't ever even think about it ever again. Like this was one of those kind of performances.
Yeah. You want to move on to Steelers Patriots?
Go ahead.
All right. So the Steelers going over to the Patriots into Foxborough and taking a 21-14 win over New England. That puts the Pittsburgh Steelers at 2-1, and the New England Patriots 1-2. That makes 2-0 for the Steelers away, and New England Patriots 0-2 at home so far. So Aaron Rodgers went 16 for 23, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Nothing crazy, nothing pretty, but they kind of got the job done. Jaylen Warren, 18 carries for 47 yards. Again, not sexy. Kenneth Gainwell, 4 for 16, but a touchdown. And even Aaron Rodgers went 4 carries for 1 yard. But the one thing that I'm starting to realize here, right, is he's spreading the ball out here and there, but he's always catching Calvin Austin on these little, you know, getting him open, making sure that he can do this either slant or come across the middle or whatever.
Back shoulder fades too for him.
Yeah, and Calvin Austin is a very, very, very quick dude, and Aaron Rodgers loves that back shoulder. He loves that back shoulder, and he knows how to place it still. For an old man, he still knows how to place it. So Calvin Austin, 3 for 34 with 1 touchdown. Jaylen Warren, 5 for 34. TK Metcalf, 3 for 32 with a tutty. And Jonnu Smith, 3 for 23. And Kenneth Gainwell, 1 for 10. And Pat Freiermuth, 1 for 6. So
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
How alarming is it that the Steelers only won by 7 points after forcing 5 turnovers?
It's pretty alarming. That means their defense is not I'm sorry that their offense is not moving as fluidly as they should, you know, and has that not been the case with an Arthur Smith offense? You know, like we know he likes to run the ball, we get that, right? But or can we look at the Patriots defense?
One thing too, I would say is, you know, I've been one of the people that has said I don't really like the Steelers defense. I don't like what they've been doing. I don't think they're very good. Yeah. They did create 5 turnovers, but anytime that we watched this game, the Patriots were driving. So it was the Patriots made a lot of costly, timely mistakes. They ended up costing them the game, but they were easily able to move the ball on this Pittsburgh defense. So I think there's an issue on both sides of the ball. I think Pittsburgh got lucky with getting out of this with a win. But yeah, the offense needs to do more with that opportunities. They couldn't get any run game going. I mean, when 18 carries for 47 yards for Jalen Warren, you said?
Yeah,
It's tough.
And not for nothing, like if you take it over to the New England side, if you look at it, if you were to look at this from just the box score, you would be like, oh yeah, definitely the Patriots won, right? Like you would see that and you would be like, yeah, Drake May 28 for 37, 268 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception, 119 on the ground. Yeah, they outbeat him, 8 receptions for Hunter Henry, 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like you would think, in the air he threw for 268. Then yes, you're going to think that they won, but you have to execute on these turnovers. You know what I mean? When you get the ball back, you have to turn them into points. Yeah, I don't care if they're 3 points. You have to turn them into points. It has to happen.
Yeah.
And the Steelers just weren't able to do it. And again, that happens when Ramondre Stevenson, gives up the ball 2 times. You know what I mean? Again, his Antonio Gibson, again, fumbling. Drake May, fumbling. Just when you lose the turnover game, you're probably going to lose the game. So
yeah, it makes it a lot more difficult if you lose the turnover margin there.
Yeah,
it's tough.
But shout out to Drake May. He looked good. You know what I mean? You can't say he didn't look good. So he's doing his thing, and we'll see how it rolls. And look, next week is the end of the first quarter of the season. I mean,
Yeah.
So, anything else on that back end?
No, I mean the previous 2 teams we talked about, Steelers and Vikings, they meet across the pond in Dublin.
Okay.
I believe to start off the international series, this round of international series.
Okay.
So it's an early game.
All right. You want to take us to LA and Philly?
Sure. This was probably one of the more thrilling games in the early window there.
Yeah.
So another block kick to win the game with Jordan Davis sealing it, blocking the kick, running it back. I think he hit over 18 miles an hour on the run back there. But this was a game that I think the Rams were kind of in control with the entire game. I think they got a little conservative more so at the end. But you had Stafford 19 of 33, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, was sacked 1 time. They were actually able to run the ball. They had 31 carries for 160 yards as a team. No touchdowns. But also Puka. Puka is the man in LA. 11 catches, 112 yards, 15 targets.
Mm-hmm.
So really kind of good offensive performance from the Rams, but I think they just kind of let off the gas. But flip it over to the Philly side, couldn't get much in the run game going. You had 27 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown, which was a Hurts tush push there. But you really got to see Jalen Hurts open up the passing game and get A.J. Brown involved. I think that was a big difference in the game. But you had Hurts finish 21 of 32, 226 yards and 3 touchdowns, was sacked 4 times. But you got 10 targets to A.J. Brown. He turned those into 6 catches, 109 yards and a touchdown. And it was down the field too, with a long of 38 yards. So it was really good to see, Hurts actually getting the ball down the field and pass the ball.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been the problem. Everybody's been looking that even we had this conversation over the weekend of how many passes over 10 yards has Jalen Hurts had, and it hasn't been a lot, because they've been running the ball, tush pushing, but they've been winning. So it's a win is a win. You're not looking at the stats. You're just trying to stack those W's.
Winning cures all. So
yeah. This is the perfect opportunity, like you said. 226 yards, 3 touchdowns, and A.J. Brown finally had over 100-yard game. He got a touchdown. Devontae Smith got a touchdown. Dallas Goedert got a touchdown. The main guys that we're looking at here. And look, it was a great game to watch. The Rams, wanting that revenge to come back into Philly and try to solidify that after last year's disappointment. And look, they almost did it, but a little bit of magic happened again. And look, that's the NFL for you. So.
Yeah, I think this Rams defense continues to impress too. I mean, Hurts isn't the easiest quarterback to get on the ground, but you sacked him 4 times and kept your offense in the game despite the interception. So I don't know. I think the Rams defense is legit, so I think they'll continue to make plays for the team. So take them far.
Hear you. All right. Go to the Jets-Buck game.
Lead the way, my friend.
All right. Well, look, Todd Bowles was throwing everything he's got in the kitchen sink at Tyrod Taylor yesterday or on Sunday. But Tyrod still went 26 for 36, 197, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Look, he was using his legs, and that's what I like to see. And I was kind of upset a little bit with how much they didn't really run the ball, but it is what it is. You know, Tyrod 8 for 48 on the ground, Braylon Allen 6 for 30, and then Breece Hall only 9 carries for 21 yards. And that's not something you always want to see, but it is what it is. It's going against a tough defense, and you had Garrett Wilson with 10 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. And everything else is kept under 5 receptions. So, Tyler Johnson, 2 for 32. Breece Hall, 4 for 31. Mason Taylor, 4 for 18. And, Braylon Allen, 2 for 17. Alan Lazard got in there with a touchdown, but only 2 for 13. And Arian Smith, and 2 for 2. A lot of, this was the penalty game of the season.
Yeah.
How many penalties?
I don't know. There's a ton of penalties, and it seems like every play there was a flag on there. But I mean, that Todd Bowles defense is legit. I mean, you saw Tyrod Taylor just in duress, running for his life, taking massive shots.
Yeah,
during the game, it was pretty crazy there.
Yeah, I'm gonna obviously talk about my team, but I mean, Sauce went out with a concussion at the end. Mike Evans, we talked about, got hurt as well, and that was a good battle to watch all day too. But I'm going to pass it over to you so you can talk about your boy Baker, because he just absolutely balled out. And I watched
third week in a row.
You know me, I have respect for players. And what did I say to you at the end of this game after the block kick and he ran it all the way down?
Too much time.
I said there's too much time to give the ball to a man like that. And that's exactly what happened. He drove the ball down and he won the game for the team. And not only he didn't just pass it, he did it. Yeah. He used his legs to go do it.
Yeah, because he was down almost all of his offensive linemen. There's only one starter from week 1. That was his center that they kicked out to left tackle. Mm-hmm. So pretty impressive day for Baker. 19 of 29, 233 yards, a touchdown. Only took 1 sack with all those new guys on the offensive line. Couldn't do much in the running game as a whole. You had Bucky Irving, 25 carries for 66 yards, 2.6 average. But he was running for his life. I mean, he was breaking tackles, going left to right. Baker with 4 carries for 44 yards, put the team on his back with a long of 33. And I think that run of 33 yards was that big one. Was it 4th down to keep the game alive and continue to go down to score?
Yeah.
That's where you saw the sheer will of this dude wants it more. It's a different season. This is the first time the Bucs have been 3-0 in a really long time. But I mean, I think Baker has put his name in the upper echelon of quarterbacks this year. But not only was it was it the Baker show, Egbuka continues to impress, continues to show out with one of the most beautiful catches we're going to see all year. A nice one-handed deep down the right sideline there.
Over Sauce Gardner too.
Yeah. So
he was perfectly placed.
Perfect ball, right? Yeah. And it was a beautiful highlight catch. But Egbuka is the real deal. He had 6 catches, 85 yards, 8 targets. Really kind of stepped up once Mike Evans went down. But he kind of seems like he's been that guy to make plays and be there when Baker needs him. So I think the story is Egbuka continues to shine. Baker just does nothing but fourth quarter comebacks and drives to win the games. And the defense is great. So
yeah. And one other thing I had to mention this, just because obviously we were watching this game pretty, heavily, but Aaron Glenn pulling Arian Smith to the side and, gave him a stern talking to after making a bonehead decision for a penalty on a chip block. And you know what I mean? That's costing you yards. That's costing you this. He is a no nonsense, and he's trying to fix that culture. And you could see it on the field. You know what I mean? He is not letting anybody. Nobody gets a free pass. Nobody gets, and that's what I like about it. I understand they're 0-3, but we have to see change, and we're starting to see it. So,
Absolutely.
all right, let's go to Raiders, the Raiders, and Commanders.
Yeah, kind of a weird game. I mean, the box score shows 41-24, but I think Raiders. I mean, I'll start with them. The passing offense, Gino was 19-29, 289 yards, 3 touchdown. Actually took 5 sacks, but he averaged 10 yards a pass there. Again, another team that their run game wasn't quite there. As a whole, they had 28 carries, 93 yards for a 3.3 average. Ashton Genty, 17 of those 28 carries for 63 yards. So just not able to get the rookie involved. He's getting touches, but he's just getting hit behind the line and is not able to do much. Not getting too much help from his offensive line there. But a big Trey Tucker breakout game here. He had 8 catches, 145 yards, and 3 touchdowns off 9 targets. So he's really kind of developed into a favorite target for Geno Smith, especially with Brock Bowers injuring his knee in week 1. But outside of Trey Tucker show, you had Jacoby Myers get 4 targets, turn those into 3 catches, 63 yards. Brock Bowers had 5 targets, turned that into 4 catches, 38 yards. And Dante Thornton Jr., they got 4 targets, 2 catches, 29 yards. So pretty decent game in the passing game there. So you just wish you saw more on the run game. But I think the biggest story is on the Washington side. No Jaden Daniels, no problem. Marcus Mariota went 15-21, 207 yards and a touchdown, was sacked 1 time. Did have a costly fumble, but in the end, it didn't really change the score too much there. But you had McNichols, 4 carries, 78 yards and a touchdown. Mariota had 6 carries, 4 yards and a touchdown. So they kind of spread the ball around quite a bit. And your boy Bill had 8 carries, 26 yards and a touchdown. But as a whole, the Washington rushed for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. So huge day there for them. And they started to get Scary Terry involved. 4 targets, 3 catches, 74 yards. He did go down with a thigh injury, so his week 4 is in question. So something to monitor throughout the week to see if he can practice or whatnot. And kind of a tough day for Debo. He only had 3 carries and 2 catches. So it didn't get him involved too much there. But overall, pretty good win for the Washington Commanders to get bounce back after that Packers game, and when you're down your field general. So
again, I'm gonna switch over to the defensive side with Washington. Washington defense getting a touchdown, 8 QB hits, okay, 8 tackles for a loss, and 5 sacks. Okay, that's gonna help you out during the game. That is definitely gonna put pressure. And that is a big step. I'm not saying that it's it was against an offensive line that obviously can't even get Genty out to go get his yards. But we're talking about a defense that did not look good at all last year. Okay, so I mean that maybe that can help build some momentum. So should we go to Falcons Panthers?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
take us through this ugly game.
Yeah, so Michael Penix, 18 for 36, 172. With 2 interceptions. He just was not looking good. Okay. So they brought in Kirk Cousins, who threw 5 for 7, 29 yards, and, blanked it. But, Bijan Robinson, came in 13 carries, 72 yards, also blanked it. Nathan Carter, who is that? 7 carries, 46 yards. Okay. Nothing happened here except for over 31 yards on carries. Okay. That's basically what happened.
Question for you.
Shoot.
Not looking at the score, just taking a step back.
Yeah.
Looking at this, who do you think actually won the game?
I would look and see that it would probably be doom. I would lean towards I would lean Atlanta with like a field goal or something if I'm looking at box.
Right. If you're just looking at the yards, I mean, you had Atlanta 200 yards in the passing game, 131 on the ground. What, one lost fumble? So they kind
Yeah.
of tied in the or they had 2 interceptions too. But just looking at that, you would think Atlanta won the game, but
Mm-hmm.
they didn't put any points on the board
Yep.
against a really, really bad defense. So
Yep.
just curious on that part.
Yeah. No. Carolina just shutting them out 30-0. That's just like and that's a rival. You know what I mean? Like that is a division rival. So,
It's got to feel good for the Panthers though. They haven't had a good win like that in a minute.
No, and they need it. You got Drake for London 5 for 55, Darnell Mooney 4 for 44, Kyle Pitts 4 for 39. Glad to see Kyle Pitts getting more and more here. Bijan Robinson 5 for 39, Ray McLeod 2 for 20, and then you have Sills, Algier, and Warner all one reception under 10 yards. So, look, Bryce didn't have to throw it a ton. He went 16 for 24, 121 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But then you gave it to Chuba 17 times for 73 yards. But you let Rico Dowdle score with 10 carries and 30 yards and a tutty. So, and Bryce Young, he moved around a little bit and got a rushing touchdown, 2 for 8 yards. So, not a lot of receptions in this game. It was more of a running game here and a defense. So, Tetaroa with the most receptions at 3 for 48. It wasn't the sexiest game to look at. But again, defensive touchdown from the Panthers really, really helped them out and, just kind of helped solidify a couple things. So we'll see how it goes and where each team goes after this. It was the most boring game you could probably watch, to be honest.
Not so fast, my friend, because the Texans Jaguars was absolutely brutal.
Take us through it.
So, both quarterbacks combined for 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown. CJ Stroud went 25 of 38, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, was sacked twice. Trevor Lawrence went 20 of 40, 222 yards, and an interception, was also sacked twice. Pretty fair, pretty close on the rushing games too.
Yeah.
As a team, Houston had 19 carries for 87 yards, no touchdowns. Jacksonville had 24 carries for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. So big difference in the game there. But both teams just struggled to get the ball going. Both quarterbacks kind of seemed like they were struggling to complete passes. Defenses looked okay, but yeah, I mean, it's really tough time in Houston. They're 0-3 right now. Jacksonville's 2-1 with that brutal loss last week too. But I don't know. You would expect more, especially for Trevor Lawrence at this point in his career. Yeah, Liam Cohen come in, implementing his offense. Him and Brian Thomas Jr. just have not been able to get on the same page.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. had 6 targets, turned those into 2 catches for 55 yards. But also, Travis Hunter is not getting involved at all. Just 2 targets, 1 catch for 21 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of disappointed to see on that end of the ball, especially when you move up to the number 2 overall pick and expect him to play both positions. It doesn't seem like he's making an impact at either one.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know. I feel like the eyebrow should be raised in Houston, and there needs to be some sort of crisis mode, DEFCON. We got to figure something out here in Houston. Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, we were talking to shout outs to Luis. We were talking to Luis yesterday, and we're emphasizing yet again that offensive line. Just because you've added new players does not mean that it's a better offensive line. It's an unknown, and this is proving its point right now. Every Houston fan that we've talked to on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, they don't want to hear that they're going to lose to Jacksonville when we predict it. But it happened because we can't say that the offensive line is better than what it was. And it's not looking good. It's just not looking good over there. And you're right, Houston, we have a problem. So where do they go from here?
It's bad. I don't know. It's very interesting. So,
I mean, Nico Collins still getting his 8 for 104 and a tutty, right?
That's his first big game, though. I believe. I don't think he's really done much
I
outside of the.
think
And
you're right.
it was because the corner blew his coverage. He
Yeah,
got open down the field, so I mean, it kind of lucked into it. So it just seems like this offense, everything is difficult. It's hard to get a yard. It's hard to keep C.J. Stroud upright. It's hard to
yeah,
complete a pass. At this point in the NFL, I don't think it should be this difficult. It
yeah.
just I don't know. We got to figure something out.
All right, let's move to a game that was a difficult win for both teams. Let's go to the Broncos Chargers. That was
This is a more enjoyable watch.
it
So
absolutely was. Looking at these scores as you would say, right? I mean, I would have leaned towards the Chargers almost, kind of like wow, like they were really just tearing them up, right? You had Justin Herbert, 28 for 47, 300 yards, and a touchdown and an interception. Okay. And Omarion Hampton, 19 for 70 yards with a touchdown. And Najee Harris, unfortunately, hurt himself in this, so he didn't get carries after a certain amount of time, but he had 6 for 28. They just, the amount of yards that they had here, through the air, on the ground, great. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And if you compare that to Bo Nix, 14 for 25, that doesn't really look sexy, right? 153 with a touchdown, but no interceptions, nothing like that. But Cortland Sutton went off, 6 receptions, 118 and a touchdown. After that, it was kind of just dinks and dunks. 3 for 14 for RJ Harvey.
Yeah, Dobbins had a good game though.
Yeah,
he got some
Dobbins
revenge.
Yeah, and he needed that.
Yeah.
But look, I think Herbert's getting a little comfortable here throwing a ball. Quentin Johnson, 6 for 89. Keenan Allen had a great last minute touchdown, 7 for 65 and a touchdown. Marion Hampton even got in there for 6 for 59 as a receiver. Gadsden, the tight end out of Syracuse, 5 for 46. And McConkey, 4 for 41. So he's finding his guys, and he's making it happen. And look, again, that Chargers defense is very, very tough. That Denver's defense is tough too. But look, the Denver was looking really, really solid for most of this game to keep the Chargers in a certain way, and the Chargers just kind of got loose at the end there and was able to take the win. It was a solid watch. It was definitely a solid watch.
Yeah, for sure. The next one, not so much. I mean, I think this game was over within the first, right at kickoff, I think it was over. But Saints gave up a 95-yard punt return, which is the longest in Seahawks franchise history. Not good there, but you had Spencer Rattler, 28 completions on 39 attempts for 218 yards, touchdown, interception, was sacked twice. Not really good look. You had Shuck come in, but once the game was completely out of hand, he was 0 for 2 on his attempts. But I think the big story about this game is neither team was able to really run the ball very effectively. You got Alvin Kamara, 18 carries, 42 yards, 2.3 average. Kendre Miller, 7 carries, 27 yards, 3.9 average. And Rattler, 2 for 10. But on the other side of the ball, you had Kenneth Walker, 16 to 38, 2 touchdowns. George Holani, 10 carries, 27 yards, touchdown, and some other players got in there. But neither team was able to run the ball very effectively. But you just saw the big difference in terms of quarterback play. Sam Darnold was 14 of 18, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I think one highlight, I guess you could say, about this game is the Saints are hyper-targeting Chris Olave. He had 14 targets in this game, which he turned to 10 catches for 57 yards. So he is the main focus of the offense. So I think he leads the NFL in targets now at this point, which he hasn't been able to turn into much. But flip it to the other side because it's more exciting. The Seahawks, JSN continues to dominate and blow up. So he had 6 targets, turned those into 5 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. He was also had flu-like symptoms, so this was kind of, I guess, his flu game, so to speak. But Seahawks defense has been legit. Their special teams played great. They even blocked a Saints punt, which is the first time that's happened since, I believe, 2011. So just a really tough, forgettable day for New Orleans. Really hope they can come back from that. But they play the Bills next week, so You know, we'll see what happens. It's just not looking good in the near future. But
Sorry, bud.
Seahawks fans got their revenge on me, so congrats.
Yeah. Sorry about that, bud.
Yeah.
Let's move over to Dallas going to Chicago. All right. Look, the numbers actually look good besides the touchdowns and interceptions, but Dak went 31 for 40, 251 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. All right. And Caleb went 19 for 28, 298, but 4 touchdowns.
Caleb, baby.
Yeah, coming out.
My boy's back.
And
shout outs to Caleb.
Then when you have Joe Milton coming in for 5 attempts here, and he throws an interception as well, it's not helping, right? So Javonte Williams had 10 rushes for 76, and Miles Sanders 9 for 41, and Kevontae Turpin for 1 for 4. So the run game, got going a little bit, 121 yards overall. When you get Chicago side, right? They couldn't really get that run game going. Nobody over 35 yards. DeAndre Swift, 13 for 33. Monangai, 6 for 18. Zacchaeus had a little trick play in there, 1 for 12. Caleb Williams rushed 5 for 12. Luther Burden, 1 for 7. DJ Moore, 3 for 7. And, even with that, everything is under 90 yards. So,
but they exploited that Dallas defense, that secondary. I think each team is cooking. I mean, you had Russell Wilson throw for 450 yards on them. So,
yeah.
It's you have another problem in Dallas. So the Texas teams here, they need some help. They need some milk.
Yeah, they CeeDee Lamb is hurt, and look, Jake Ferguson got 14 targets. Okay, getting 13 for 82. Okay,
imagine if Pickens would have got those.
Yo, dude, 5 for 68 and a touchdown. That's the only thing that saved him in fantasy right there. Was that touchdown. But Kevontae Turpin got 2, for 64. Tolbert 3 for 24. Flournoy, I can never say his name. 2 for 21. And Javonte Williams got 5 for 16. Sanders 3 for 12. So they're really trying to make something happen and make something work. But I mean, if you're looking at this, like you said, Luther Burden 3 for 101 and a tutty. Rome Odunze 3 for 62 and a tutty. DJ Moore 4 for 21 and a tutty. Cole Kmet 1 for 10 and a tutty. DeAndre Swift getting some 3 for 45. Colson Loveland 1 for 31. He was spreading it. Like you said, they just completely exposed them.
Yeah, Bears controlled the whole game.
Yeah, and they needed that. They needed that. An at-home win right there. And, Dallas is in trouble, dude. Dallas is in trouble if they cannot get this together, and now they just lost a big part of their offense, too. So,
yeah. Oh, and they lost their guard, too. The rookie, Tyler Booker.
Yep.
So, yeah, tough look. And they got the Packers on Sunday night, so fun stuff. All right. We'll go to Arizona, San Francisco, another division matchup, 16-15 with the 49ers win. Really fun game here. But you had, I'll start with Arizona. You had Kyler Murray go 22 of 35, 159 yards, 1 touchdown, was sacked one time. Unfortunately, this is where James Conner went down. He had 9 carries for 22 yards. And unfortunately, he's out for the season after having the ankle surgery. But Trey Benson came in. He had 10 carries for 42 yards with a long of 29. So they were actually able to run the ball fairly decent, 28 carries, 106 yards overall. But story of this game was Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr., which we spoke about earlier in the show. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 6 targets, turned those into 3 catches, 44 yards. One of those targets was a deep pass down the field that probably no one was around him. Ended up dropping it. Could have been a big gain and helped them to win the game, but unfortunately did not catch that. But McBride, 8 targets, 5 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Spread the ball around quite a bit. Kyler did, so good to see that. And then on the San Francisco side, Mac Jones still in relief of Brock Purdy. Went 27 of 41 for 284 yards, a touchdown and interception. Was also sacked 1 time as well. Kind of a tough day on the ground. You had McCaffrey get 17 carries for 52 yards, no touchdowns. Brian Robinson Jr., 2 carries for 22 yards. And then Mac Jones with a kneel down. But I think this is another kind of a focus on the Ricky Pearsall breakout. He had
Yeah.
11 targets, 8 catches for 117 yards. But also, you got McCaffrey involved as well. 15 targets, 10 catches, 88 yards. So really got him going in the passing game.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Bourne, fresh back 49er. He had 6 targets, 4 catches for 38 yards. So this is really a story of the defenses. I think both defenses played really well, made it a kind of a slugfest, and Niners was able to squeak it out with their new kicker.
I love the fact that Christian McCaffrey had like 15 targets. Like that's wild. So
Yeah.
wild. I mean, it's
Dude,
Mac Jones. I get it. You know what I
He
mean?
touched the ball 27 times.
That's wild. Now that I'm thinking about it, you know what I mean? Like
Mac Jones completed 27 passes.
Yeah. I'm still surprised that they're letting him like wing it like that.
Why not? You got to win the game.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is that like we're not expecting that to be the case. We're expecting it to be like, hey, here, like hand the ball off, right? Because that's
He
kind of
did.
like,
He's
yeah.
17 times. Like what?
No, I know, but you expect him to.
What, you want him to have 35 carries?
What is Mariota doing? He ain't throwing a ball.
He didn't hand it off 35 times, did he?
I think he's handing it off more than he's throwing it, and I think that's what they think. But then again, Kyle Shanahan always wanted Mac Jones, so maybe he's starting to.
I guess there's 32 carries. Yeah, I mean, well, also they had a lot more success on the ground. I mean, Niners had a tough time getting through that Cardinals defense. So
yeah, it's I mean, but good for them. I mean, pulling
Niners
it out.
They're first in the division,
and it's just
it's 2 division wins, one over the Seahawks and one over the Cards now.
Yeah, San Francisco are a quiet 3-0 right now.
Yeah, without their starting quarterback. So
yeah, so
and they get Arizona State receiver coming back at week 7. I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Who'd you say?
Their receiver, Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, Ayuk, yeah.
Sorry.
Very good. It's yeah, this is it'd be interesting. Both teams still 2-1 Arizona Cardinals, 3-0 San Francisco 49ers. So it's like they are able to continue to climb the ladder here even after this. That's a tough loss, 16-14 or 16-15. So
yeah,
see how it goes. Who do we have next?
Chiefs Giants.
Yes.
Take us to the Sunday night thriller.
All right. Well, for most of the game, it was 6-9. Right, we're watching this game, and we've been telling people that the Giants' defense is not like it's not an easy just rollover. Everybody thinks that the Giants are just gonna be, what's the word, trash, right? I understand that they're 0-3, but their defense, their front four, puts a lot of pressure. And Patrick Mahomes went 22 for 37, 224 and a touchdown. Okay. Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt both went 10 carries for 45 and 10 carries for 34 with a touchdown, Kareem Hunt. So 10 for 34 and a touchdown with Kareem Hunt. And Brashard Smith getting a little action, 2 for 13. Nico Remigio, 1 carry for 11. And Patrick Mahomes rushed 5 times for 2 yards. So, again, they're keeping them kind of limited. Tyquan Thornton had 5 receptions for 71 yards and a touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 4 for 55. Hollywood Brown, 4 for 42. Travis Kelce, 4 for 26. Noah Gray, 3 for 17. Kareem Hunt got 1 in there for 10. Pacheco, 1 for 3. So he's trying to spread the ball around, trying to, get it rocking and rolling. But the Chiefs finally get their first win here at 1-2, 22-9 by the end of it all. But it didn't come until late. It really didn't. And Russell Wilson went 18 for 32 for 160 and 2 interceptions. And this is exactly why you should be able to throw in the Kansas City secondary. Their run defense is tough. But what I did like to see is Scadaboo. Okay, Scadaboo came in here, and he's basically just saying, yo, you're in my way. Unfortunately, Tyrone Tracy went down, hurt himself, but Scadaboo came in, 10 for 60 and a touchdown, okay? And Tyrone Tracy had 7 for 29. Russell Wilson rushed 5 for 27. Devin Singletary, 4 for 11. I think he's kind of down a depth chart in Jackson
Well,
Dart.
he's moving up now.
Yeah. And even Scatterbo got 6 receptions for 61 yards. Darius Slayton got 4 for 30. Wandale Robinson, 1 for 26. Kind of a quiet day for him. And a quiet day for Malik Neighbors with 2 for 13. So,
7 targets.
Yeah, 7 targets.
I mean, that's the reason why you're moving on from Russell Wilson. You can't get your best player the ball.
Yep.
That's
so it's
wow.
it's getting it's getting very, very tough, tough sledding. And look, New York Giants, not for nothing, 6 pass deflections in this game. That's pretty good. I will say, both defenses had 7 QB hits, 6 pass deflections, good tackles for losses, and 2 sacks. So 4 pass tackles for loss for New York, and then 6 TFLs for the Chiefs. So
Mahomes fumbled it twice too, I believe.
Yeah. So it's like they're putting pressure on there. That Kansas City defense, that offense is not looking like it's humming. All right, looking like that motor needs to be worked on a little bit. So we'll find out what happens when Rashee Rice comes back in a few weeks and see if that changes anything. Or you do trade? Is Tyreek Hill homecoming? Do you think?
Probably not.
Nah, probably not. But
Kansas City has enough problems right now.
No. Can we move on from that one?
Yeah, let's finish it up with the Monday night thriller.
All right, take us through it, baby.
Lions won 38-30. So I'll start with the winning side. Detroit, Jared Goff went 20 of 28 for 202 yards and a touchdown, was not sacked in this game. So good, efficient football from Jared Goff, who was able to deliver passes. Was under duress, but never sacked. So, but I think the biggest kind of key to this one was their rushing and their defense. On the rushing side, they had 38 carries for 224 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So the combination of Sonic and Knuckles, a.k.a. Gibbs and Montgomery, combined for 4 rushing touchdowns. And bulk of the carries. I mean, Gibbs was 22 for 67, and Montgomery was 12 for 151 with a long of 72. So big Montgomery game. It was really good to see those two get involved and kind of be that offense. But in the passing game, it was really Amon-Ra St. Brown was the main driving force in the passing game. He had 8 targets, 7 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Jameson Williams got involved, 3 targets, 2 catches, 43 yards. And Laporta, 4 targets, 4 catches, 33 yards. Gibbs, 5 catches, 32 yards there. So really good to see. Detroit offense look like it has in the last couple seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But their defense is kind of the story of the show. I mean, they sacked Lamar Jackson 7 times.
Yeah, they did.
Got 6 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and obviously hit the quarterback 7 times. So on the flip side, I think as a Ravens fan, it's a pretty frustrating game.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Baltimore there, but Lamar Jackson, super efficient, 21 of 27, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, was sacked 7 times. Some in some crucial moments. You also had Derrick Henry attempt to pass that was almost intercepted. So let's not do that. But on the ground game, they just couldn't get much going. You had Derrick Henry, 12 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown. He also had a crucial fumble, similar to the Buffalo Bills game, week 1. And Lamar Jackson, 7 carries, 35 yards. So they didn't get too many people involved in the run game because they were down majority of the game, but just unfortunate there. But Mark Andrews, breakout game for the season. 6 targets, 6 catches, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Rashad Bateman, 7 targets, 5 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Got Justice Hill involved. He had 3 catches, 45 yards. A bunch of other players had some catches. I think another story is Zay Flowers only got 3 targets in this game. So he's been a very productive number 1 receiver for them this year, and he just couldn't get open in this Detroit Lions defense there. So just tough day for the Ravens. I mean, they're 1-2 with a matchup against the Chiefs coming up. So I think they're going to be okay. They showed a lot of promise, but just some frustrating mental mistakes, and they have kind of a big hill to climb from here.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is not looking good, my friend.
I don't think it's the fact he's not looking good. He's just made 2 crucial mistakes, and he's been an all-pro caliber player the majority of his career. It happens. Superstars aren't perfect. So I just think they kind of got away from the run game. You only give him
Yeah,
12 carries. You got to give him more than that.
yeah. I mean, he hasn't
Feed the
cracked
beast.
that first game was great. After that, you know, held to way under 100 yards. You know what I mean? It's just you just don't have
Yeah.
that expectation for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't panic yet, but it is
No,
something that needs to be monitored.
no. I would say buy low right now in your fantasy leagues if you can get them.
Hmm.
I would buy low. I got him in one fantasy league and I lost by what 9 points. So I'm keeping them though. But yeah, I mean, wild week 3. Watching all this stuff happen. I think that we can. I think that we can say that week 3 is behind us. The rearview mirror is, torn off. We're not going to look behind us. All right, we've had
Yeah.
enough blocked kicks. We had enough upsets. We've had enough blowouts and division games winning by a field goal. So
Yeah.
or a point or two. So what do you say we move on to week 4 predictions?
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right. Let's do some predictions, baby. Okay. The predictions are brought to you by norse-hall.com. Guys want some mead, some hot sauce, make sure that you go on there and go to norse-hall.com and order your hot sauce or mead. And also by FGM Label, you want some music, you want something that helps you guys out, make everything sound better on your show. Maybe you're an artist. Please go to FGM Label. So FGM Label on Instagram. And we will go to week 4 predictions, baby. Okay.
You go ahead and kick us off on this one.
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna.
Me and Seahawks fans aren't cool right now. We're not.
Okay.
I'm not cool with Seattle. So
Okay. Just got to get everything rocking and rolling. Okay. So a Thursday night game. Look, they're coming off a nice high here. I think that not for nothing, if the Arizona Cardinals can come back and make a win. So we're gonna have this Thursday night game, Seattle going into Arizona. I'm really leaning Seattle is gonna take a win here, but I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna say Arizona just Trey McBride's them to death, and I really think that they're gonna expose that defense. I think they're riding really too high on the Saints, and I'm gonna take an upset with what everybody's thinking. I'm taking Arizona at home.
nice. Okay. International game, Dublin. You have the Minnesota Vikings, quote unquote, visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw Brian Flores, what his defense can do. We saw what the Steelers defense can do. I think it's going to come down to Rodgers versus Wentz. I'm going to take Rodgers. So give me Pittsburgh Steelers against the Vikings.
All right. Washington going to Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to want a little bit of revenge here, scoring absolutely no points. But you know what? I don't know whether or not Daniel's going to be back. But I think they found out a way to make this happen in the QB situation. But you know what? I think the defense on the Atlanta side has little tricks up their sleeve. I think they want it a lot more. I think they're going to go back to the basic run game on this Washington defense. Give me Atlanta at home.
All right. I don't think this one needs much commentary, but this could be one of the biggest upsets in the history of the National Football League. It won't be. Give me Buffalo Bills.
All right. So the Cleveland Browns, after last week, taking a huge win over the Green Bay Packers, they put a lot of pressure on there. I just don't see this is going to be happening going into Detroit. They have a short trip over to Detroit. Look, they just went over a powerhouse over in Baltimore. And you know what? I just don't see them losing at home against the Browns. It could be an upset, but I just don't see it. Give me the Lions.
All right. You have the Carolina Panthers visiting the New England Patriots. Both offense. I mean, New England looked great on offense. They just had those turnovers, kind of cost them the game. Panthers, they won 30-0, but you could barely tell in the box score. It's gonna be a very interesting game. I'm gonna go and take Bryce Young and company. Give me the Panthers in an upset.
There you go. Chargers going to New York. Look, I think it's going to be a tough nose game. And I think the Chargers are going to have a little bit of a problem in front of them. And I don't think they're going to know how to go after Dart. You know what? Give me New York at home for the first win.
Wow, that's bold, Cotton. It's bold. All right, you have the Super Bowl champion Eagles visiting the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think the heat's going to definitely be a factor. We were down there; it's very hot, but I think Baker and company are on a roll. I would give me Baker and the Bucks at home. I think they're going to end that streak.
There you go. All right. We're going to go to the Houston Texans and the Titans. Look, I think Cam Ward here is going to be hit with this Texans defense. And I think this is where the Texans start to push it up a little bit. And I think they're going to take their first win here against the Titans. The Titans go 0-4. Give me the Houston Texans.
Someone has to win.
Yeah.
All right. And the Sunday late slate. So we have the Indianapolis Colts visiting the Los Angeles Rams. Colts have been a great story. Jonathan Taylor is lighting the league on fire, but I think the Rams defense and Matthew Stafford is going to be too much. And I think they turn Daniel Jones back into a pumpkin. Give me the Rams.
All right. The Jaguars going over to San Francisco. San Francisco is losing their main pass rusher, and Jacksonville taking already a really, really good win against a tough defense. I think they're used to it by now. Give me Jacksonville at an away game in San Francisco.
Interesting. All right. You have the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. Tale of two tapes right here. Ravens have looked great on offense. They just made some mistakes, lost some close games. Kansas City, they look inept on offense right now. So it's going to be a really interesting game. I think that Mahomes works his dark magic, and I think the Chiefs get the win at home.
All right. Chicago and the Raiders. Chicago is going over to Las Vegas. I think this is where the Raiders actually put their stuff together. I think this could be a shootout, but you know what? I am actually going to take proven head coach, proven quarterback, and everything. Even though Caleb Williams just balled out, but I think the Raiders going to edge them out. Give me the Raiders at home.
All right, and I've been waiting all day for Sunday night, and what a matchup here! You have Green Bay Packers visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys just lost their best offensive weapon. And their defense is completely awful. We saw Green Bay just lose that heartbreaker in Cleveland there. And I think Parsons is going to want to make a statement. Give me Green Bay on the road.
Nice. Monday Night Football, MNF. The Jets are going down to Miami. Both 0-3 teams. Look, the Jets just went through a really, really tough game against a very, very hard defense. Aaron Glenn is trying to change this team. I think there's more discipline on the Jets than there are on the Miami Dolphins. Give me the Jets away. They're going to win their first game here. And we're going to go to Bengals and Broncos. Take us away.
All right. So for the last Monday night matchup, we got a doubleheader then. You got the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Denver Broncos. Cincinnati got completely embarrassed. You had Denver lose a nail biter against the Chargers. Very interesting matchup here. I think the Bengals will put up a fight, and I think they'll be able to move the ball. But I think Denver, Bo Nix is going to be too much for the Cincinnati defense. So give me the Broncos at home.
There it is. I think it's going to be a little bit crazier than people think, C-Dub.
Yeah, I don't know where the upsets or which crazy matchups they're going to be, but they're definitely there.
Yeah, look, I'll put it back on, but it's very difficult. Like I know I'm picking some oddballs. I'm taking the Giants over the Chargers. I know that sounds very.
You're the biggest dart believer.
Yeah,
darts.
Look, I think he's gonna throw some stuff at him. I really do. Like I'm not knocking. I won't be surprised. Like this is the thing. I won't be surprised if the Chargers win, but I just think it's gonna be a weird upset. I don't think you know how to prepare for Jackson Dart yet. You know what I mean? He's going to throw some stuff at him, but I think Dable is going to be like, dude, if this happens, this is going to be tough. Throw it here, throw it there. I think he's going to have stuff ready.
I think his legs are going to make the difference. I think he's extremely mobile. He can throw on the run. I think that's going to be a difference with he can kind of evade some of the sacks. It helps that Khalil Mack's not playing this game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, look, the Giant front four, okay? Like, they're good, okay? You saw how physical they were against Kansas City when they were trying to run the ball. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like Brian Burns is an absolute monster. Okay, he's running from sideline to sideline.
Thibodeau's been really good this year too.
Yeah, they're just ripping people down if they have the ball. They're not letting them get the lean forward. They're yanking them back and pulling them and twisting them back down. They're a physical team. I think the Chargers are going to be tested here.
For sure.
Like, but it's the NFL. Nobody expected the Browns to beat the Packers.
Yeah, any given Sunday. I mean, this is what happens. This is what we live for. So
Yeah. I mean, nobody knows what happens. So I mean, but we do know what happens when you follow Top Dog Coverage. Okay, you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, on X. Sorry, Twitter. Okay, you hit it on
It's
TikTok,
X.
Facebook, Instagram. Yeah. So you make sure that you guys swipe up, hit the like button, leave some comments, let us know what's going on, what's happening, how you guys are feeling about your teams, your fantasy teams, how you guys feel about our takes. Look, we don't always have the answers.
Please tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah, we love
It's
it.
fuel that drives us.
Yeah, that just gets us more subscribers. By the way, that reminds us, the goal of 250 is almost there. And the way that you can help is by hitting that subscribe button, hit the bell to make sure you get your notifications. So when your best friend that you don't know is looking over at you and say, "Oh, he's looking at your phone," you could tell him exactly what notification it is. It's Top Dog Coverage with some more football news. Okay.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their friend to tell a friend to tell their mailman.
So you know. So, but it is C-Dub and Dirty. We're out. God bless you guys. And week 4. Here we are.
Let's roll.
All right. Peace, guys.
Peace.